Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, December the 10th, and Dusty is with us today. So you're going to hear there it goes, the clack, clack, clacking of his little toenails on this floor. I cannot get him to settle down and lay down, so sorry, we're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, this is IfYouHaveAnEgg.com chat number 345, and if you are in our closed group, the Facebook group, the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, I shared chat number 50 in our closed group, and that was the very first chat that I did with Orlando Debbie. So when we get done here, you'll have to pop over to the If You Have an Egg Facebook group and check that out. Hello, Marlene. We were 6 years younger. Yeah, I think we looked great then too. And hello, Catherine from Lowell, North Carolina, and hello, Carol Lou. But yeah, it was a fun time, and I had to go back and find it this morning. It popped up on my memories on Facebook today, so I shared that. And hello, Elaine. But again, 6 years later, so 6 years ago, hello, Barbara. 6 years ago, we were in Orlando with Orlando Debbie. Makes me sad, but I'm happy to be here with you all today. Today is Sunday, December the 10th. It is freezing outside in East Tennessee. Fortunately, we skipped that nasty weather that they had, and thank you, Marlene. I'll show it to you in a second. And hello, Lynn, and hello, Lisa from Arkansas. Fortunately, we skipped the nasty weather that they had over kind of towards Nashville from us. And hello, Anna. It was nasty. It was pretty bad in the camper though last night. And hello, John from home base. So we stayed in the camper with the girls last night. Hail, wind, lightning. Not fun, but everybody slept through it but me, I think. And hello, Marianne from Pittsburgh. Hello, Trish. Good to see you. Hello, Sarah from Raleigh, Massachusetts. And yep, Sylvia, I've got on the Grinch sweater. And thank you, Barbara. So I'll go ahead and show it to you while we're waiting on some more people to pop in. This was an impulse purchase on a Good Friday, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And I have worn this thing so much. I spent way too much money on it. And hello, Sandra from Naperville. I spent way too much money on it 5 or 6 or however many years ago it was. But I wear this thing so much during the holiday season. I've definitely got my money's worth. But it says Resting Grinch Face. I know it's backwards for you all watching on Facebook. So yeah, so it says Resting Grinch Face, and it is a favorite. I wear it as often as I can. And let's see, hello, Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. It is good to see you, and sorry for the clicking. Dusty is here with us tonight, and he is pacing. He's pretty sure that I'm making some food and just not telling him about it. So he is like actually circling my feet, but at least y'all will be able to see him here later. Okay, so let's get going. Today is Sunday, December the 10th. I am Kelly. Hello, Vicky. I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. If you're watching this later on YouTube, that is just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Then welcome. We would love to welcome you there too. And if you are brand new, please let me know, because we would love to say hello, because we would love to get some new friends. And hello, let's see. Sarah says, how was the road trip? Already said hello to Vicky. Hello, Julie, and hello, Katie. So that's actually one of the first things I'm going to be talking about is we made it back safely from teeny tiny Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania, and it is no wonder. It's no wonder that none of y'all knew where it was. The population is only 3,600. It is this little teeny tiny Hallmark Christmas movie kind of a town. And if you didn't see my post on that, I did post some videos. And hello, Ann. I did post a video and some pictures of beautiful Mifflinburg. But thank you all very much for your patience while I pretty much ignored you for the whole week. But we had a great week of training, ate way too much food, but I think everything we ate, I think it was all things that we wouldn't have been able to get, we wouldn't have been able to get here. So we enjoyed it all, made some good choices, some not so good choices, but yeah, but we had a great week and a great time. And it was wonderful. It was just a wonderful trip. And John was able to go with me. So that made it also extra fantastic. Okay, so that was a little bit of news. Next bit of news is if you're thinking of joining or rejoining Weight Watchers, they are having a limited time flash sale if you want to do the digital only. And the digital only, you can join for as little as $12 a month until next fall. So you need to go to WeightWatchers.com to check that out. And let's see. Yeah, oh, and Barbara from the Crossroads saw the 6 years at Disney with Orlando Debbie. Yeah, I know. And hello, Jonna. I know. I really, really wish we could be there with her this year. But no, we're stuck in cold Tennessee. And it was snowing when we were in Pennsylvania. Cold here now and stormy yesterday. But alas, we have fond memories. But anyway, so if you were thinking of joining or rejoining Weight Watchers, they are having a deal, one of the digital online deals, for as little as $12 a month. And lastly, you have 10 days left to shop in the Weight Watchers online shop. It is closing. Y'all have heard me say this 100 times. The Weight Watchers online shop is closing. None of that will be available after this is, after this is over. This is your last chance. So this is your last 10 days to take advantage of the 50% off deals. And when those deals are gone, they're gone. They're done. They're done. They're over. So this is your last 10 days to take care of that. If you wanted to take advantage of any of those deals. Okay, so I need to know, I did not get to attend an in-person workshop last week or a digital workshop last week because we were in Pennsylvania doing lots of amazing training, but some of you all did though, who attended an in-person workshop last week. And let's see, Sarah says there's nothing left. There's almost nothing left except for the pedos. The pedos are actually really good, Sarah. So if they're half off, I may go grab some of those. But let's see some thumbs ups for anyone who attended an in-person workshop last week or attended a virtual workshop, a Zoom workshop. Thumbs ups for that. I don't get one because, again, we were too busy enjoying Pennsylvania to do that, but thumbs ups for those. And then hearts for anyone who was here with us live last week, or if you watched it later on demand. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Yeah, lots of thumbs ups and hearts. By the way, Alyssa was so sad that she could not be here with us tonight because she loved handing out the virtual Bravo stickers. She loved being my assistant and handing me things. I had called her my co-host, and she said, Nona, I wasn't your co-host. I was your assistant. And I said, okay, well, what's the difference? And she said, an assistant helps you. So just so y'all know, she was my assistant last week, and she was very sad she could not be here with you all again this week. And thank you all for letting her do that. But here are your virtual Bravo stickers for attending in-person workshops or virtual workshop or here with us live last week or watching later on demand. So here are your virtual Bravo stickers for that. Good job, everybody. And y'all are kicking it being here and attending your other workshops this close to all of the holidays. So I know Hanukkah's already started. Christmas is coming up on us fast. I know there's got to be a bunch of, some others sprinkled in there, but it's coming up fast. So congratulations also for being here and at your Zoom and in-person workshops during all of that. So last week was chat number 344, and we were talking about easy ways to overcome, some kind of easy steps to overcome a setback. And I said that, I told you last week that setbacks can lead to unnecessary behaviors like either overcorrecting, so remember, like kind of getting your wheels off in the ditch, and then overcorrecting and sometimes flipping across the road and flipping over into the other ditch, or just giving up. So, and giving up is that's never the option, okay? Doesn't matter how far your wheels are off in the ditch, giving up is never an option. We also talked last week about if you have a setback, we're all gonna have setbacks. All of us. And hello, Barbara from, okay, I'm not going to pronounce that correctly, Bonao, South Carolina. Bonao? Am I even close? But welcome to you. But a setback is just like if you fell off of a horse while you're learning how to ride, but you got back on. Or if you were trying to learn how to ski and you went down the hill on your bottom instead of going down on your skis. Eating more on your holiday road trip than you had planned. So like we had a little, minor setback last week while we were in Pennsylvania. Not anything though, just to throw in the towel and say, forget it, I'm starting over again in January. So failure though is taking all of those to the extreme, giving up. So that would be failure, is if we said, you know what, we overate while we were in Pennsylvania, we're just going to quit and we'll start again in January. That is giving up. That's not a setback, okay? And then I wanted you to go ahead and formulate a plan on what you're going to do, something that you're going to do that you're going to tell your future self is going to, tell you about opening in case of emergency. So I had, and darn it, I forgot to bring it again tonight. I had a little index card that I had made for myself, I don't even know, years ago, probably a long time ago, just based on the card and kind of the markers, that's weird, the markers and the stickers that were on there, where I had written down some, it's kind of like, hey, you remember, another time when you've had a setback, or, you were kind of in a rut or whatever, here are some things you did to get out of that. And so I had listed things like, if I get in a rut, if I kick it back up to walking 5 days a week, I can usually get right out of it. And yes, Mary says failure is not an option. If I'll track at least a meal a day, so sometimes I just can't track every single meal, but if I'll track at least one meal a day, avoiding extra sodium is a big one for me. I retain so much fluid if I have too much sodium, so avoiding that extra sodium, that really, really, really can help me get through a setback making myself drink an entire mug of water before I ever have that first cup of coffee. That can get me right back on track, and weighing in at my very next meeting. So your homework for last week was #open in case of emergency. And I wanted you to write a little note to yourself, an index card, a letter, something folded up, but just to have it somewhere that you could pull it out in the case of an emergency, something that you can tell your future self now. You can write it down now while you're calm and tell your future self, hey, in case of an emergency, open this up, flip it over, do whatever. This is what you had to do to stay out of the ditch, okay? Because sometimes it's easy to forget, and you need to kind of talk yourself off of a ledge or out of the ditch. So I wanted you to list 3 things that had worked in the past that you can use again in the future. And let's see how you all did with your homework. Deanna, who is a perpetual homework doer. So she is fantastic homework doer. I wish you all aspired to be Deanna in the homework arena. But Deanna wrote herself a note in the notes app on her phone, which I thought was interesting. I don't think I would have thought of that. I have always written myself a physical note, but she put a note to herself in the notes app on her phone that she can grab and open in case of emergency, in case she was having an overstuffed emergency, like if she had overstuffed herself, if she was having a craving chocolate emergency, and when she's just feeling overwhelmed by food. I love that. Dude, too fast. Alyssa would tell him he's going too fast. I thought that was a great phrase. It's something I never thought of. I never thought to describe it that way. Overwhelmed by food. That is a perfect description of how we all feel sometimes. So Deanna wrote herself that note. Great job. Barbara left herself a little note with us that reminds her that when the holiday hubbub gets to be too much, that she absolutely has the right to limit the events that she's attending without feeling guilty. So she absolutely has that right. So when life's getting too busy and she's got too many invites to too many parties, which awesome, good job on your social life, but she can pull that out and say, hey, you know what? When you're feeling, overwhelmed with all these parties, or you feel like you're kind of getting off track or whatever, remember, future self, that you can pull this out in case of emergency. You absolutely have the right to decline some of those events. You don't have to go to every single one if you don't want to. And that's a great way to keep yourself from feeling overwhelmed by all these holiday events. And then Marianne, thank you for coming in clutch while I was typing all of this out today by doing your homework. So this was not a great homework week, okay? But Marianne really helped me out by, she sent this right as I was typing the notes. So thank you, Marianne. Her note to herself was, it's okay to have a do-over. You can use your phone to schedule exercise, and a note to her future self, take a long look back at where you've been. Forget about what's going on right now. Turn around and look at all you've done to get to where you are today. So those were awesome. The 3 of you who did your homework. No pressure, guys, but bravo stickers to everyone who did their homework. You all, again, you're kicking it here as we are rolling around in the holidays. This week we are talking about simple swaps to save you points. So wouldn't it be nice? I know I would love this, but wouldn't it be nice if during the holidays, if we could break out like a pack of Monopoly money and buy some extra points? So, I mean, it would be so nice to have like that extra stash like Monopoly money and be able to say, you know what? I'll take 5 extra points. I'll take 1 extra point. I'll take 20 extra points. Or better yet, what if we had a get out of food jail free card? That would be even better. If we could just say, you know what? I've had way too much to eat at this party. Here's my get out of food jail free card. That would be fantastic if we could have that. Okay, we don't have that. Since we can't buy any extra points, though, Weight Watchers has given us a guide that is so epic that it even says, in parentheses, you're going to want to screenshot this. And they're right. You are going to want to screenshot that. So what it says on your weekly this week, for this last week, because remember, these chats are always to go over. The first half is to go over whatever we discussed with Weight Watchers the prior week. And then the second half is something fun. Y'all are going to definitely want to pay attention to the second half. But if you go to your weekly, so if you go from a mobile device, find those 3 horizontal lines in the upper left-hand corner of your Weight Watchers app, touch that and scroll down to discover content. You can find this topic on there. I will tell you, they have removed it again from the desktop version. If you try to go back, they keep messing with it, and they should just leave it alone. It's like daylight savings time. Pick a time. Just pick a time and quit changing back and forth. But if you go from a computer, so if you go from a desktop, a laptop, just a computer, if you go on to WeightWatchers.com that way, you cannot go back currently and see the prior week's topic. But if you'll go from your cell phone or a tablet or some kind of a mobile device, you can still go to the prior week's topic. It is worth a screenshot. So they are giving you some great ideas for if it's for recipes, if it is going to contain this, or if it calls for this, try this, and this is how many points it's going to save you. It's definitely worth a screenshot. But the fast facts from Weight Watchers this week are, number one, there are no forbidden foods. So way back in the day, back in the Weight Watchers day, we had can'ts, won'ts, don'ts, and have to. So we had things we had to eat every day, every week. We had things we couldn't eat ever, and we had things that we shouldn't eat or that you don't eat, whatever. We currently have no forbidden foods. You just have to count them. So you will never be able to live with your food plan long term if you rule out your favorite food. So if you just go, nope, I can never ever have that again, not even during the holidays, you won't make this long term, okay? So go again, check out, not during the chat, but go check out this week's graphic and stay tuned for the second half of tonight's chat for some ways to make easy substitutions on your favorite recipes so that everything can be on the menu, because this is the holidays. We want everything to be on the menu, okay? The second fast fact is lowering the points doesn't mean lowering the flavor or the enjoyability or your enjoyment. So there are a lot of seasoned Weight Watchers pros out there, you're one too, who have forged the way for some smart swaps that don't cut down on the flavor, okay? Lean on them to see how to lower the points without lowering the enjoyment. So I have a lot of lightened up recipes on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can check out Drizzle Me Skinny. You can check out Pound Dropper. You can check out My Busy Kitchen. There are lots of people, the Weight Watchers app, you can go to the Weight Watchers app and check that out. There are lots and lots and lots of people who have forged this road before you. You can figure out your own. That's A-okay. I had a good time, figuring out some of mine that I'll share in the second half. But there are a lot of people who have already paved, they've kind of paved this way, and they've already, hello Susie, and they've already tried some of these things out for you, kind of trial and error, and they've already done it. So if you just need to go find something quick, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Somebody has already figured probably something out that you need. Also, in the Weight Watchers app, if you go in the recipe builder, you can pull up recipes that are already in there, and if you need to make some swaps in there, you can as well. I promise you there are a ton of Weight Watchers recipes, approved, low point, already smart swapped out recipes on the Weight Watchers app, and there's even a little section, for holiday eating. But if you go in there and if you think, okay, they're wanting me to do this, but I need to save 2 extra points, you can play with those recipes. Just go ahead and save them, and then you can play with them before you track them, and you can go ahead and figure that out and tweak it to fit whatever you need it to at the holidays. So lowering the points does not mean lowering the flavor or your enjoyability. Yeah, and Barbara says check out other YouTubers. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have already kind of forged this path, and they've already figured a lot of this out for us. Okay, and then the last thing is focus on protein, fiber, and unsaturated fats. So if you do go look at that that graphic that Weight Watchers did for this week, they're talking a lot about if a recipe calls for these kind of oils or butter or things that are heavy in saturated fat, try this and try an alternative. Or if it's a certain kind of a meat, try this. Or if it's a certain cheese, or a certain kind of cheese, try this. So just making a simple habit of focusing on protein. I will be talking about some protein in the second half, but focusing on protein. Fiber, y'all know I love it when you get an extra fiber, but you have to drink some extra water. We can go back to previous chats, prior chats, one within the last couple of weeks, and talk about fiber and why it is so important, especially during the holiday season, but it's also important to get plenty of water with it, and focus on unsaturated fats instead of saturated fats. So just simply focusing on those 3 things can make this holiday season save points. It can save the points, and it can save your sanity. Okay, so like Barbara says, applesauce is a good replacement. She's exactly right. Barbara, what is something that you would use applesauce in? So give us an example of what you would swap applesauce in for, and do you have a recipe that you use that in? And then the other Barbara said the recipes app or the website. Yeah, so you can go to the recipes in the Weight Watchers app, and it's so easy to change the ingredients to what you need them to be. You can even put in your own recipe or a friend's recipe, or get a friend to share a recipe with you. Put that in, and then just make some smart swaps on what those ingredients are going to be, and you will be shocked in some cases how much it lowers the points. Okay, so, and who are your favorite resources? Because I talked really fast in the first half, and we've got some extra time. So who are your favorite resources for some of these, already forged the way, ideas, and what are some favorite things like Barbara's applesauce that she's using, to swap out in a recipe? Okay, and yeah, and Barbara can't think of what she used it in right now, but she knows that it lowers the points. It actually does. I mean, it really does, because if you use unsweetened applesauce, a half a cup of unsweetened applesauce is 0 points. So that is perfect. Okay, your homework for this week is #SmartSwapSuperpower. Okay, in the second half of tonight's chat, I'll be sharing some of my smart swaps that I really do almost consider a superpower. Okay, without them, I would never be able to keep my holiday favorites on the menu, and you have to have some. So you've got to have some smart swaps that are going to be a superpower for you. So your homework for tonight. Hello, Orlando Debbie. So Debbie, here we are, 6 years later. I'm here. You're there. So sad. I'm so sad. But anyway, I finally found that video, and it was chat number 50. But your homework for this week is #SmartSwapSuperpower. Thank you, Lynn, for posting that. And I want you to figure out something like the applesauce that Barbara was talking about. Anna says that applesauce can be, Anna says that applesauce can replace oil in a boxed brownie and cake mix, and she doesn't know the points. Katie said her goal this week is going to be to do her homework. Katie, do your homework. Do your homework. Do it. And she's already trying to do it. So Katie's goal, so Katie, I'll go back. Oh, I think Katie actually did her homework. Okay, wait, hold on. So Katie said she loves egg roll in a bowl, and she's going to use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, and she's going to use the Weight Watchers app to get great ideas. I wish I had a pen. So I could write down that you have already done your homework, and I do not think there is one over here. I will try really hard to remember that, Katie, though, to give you credit for your homework when Casey gets when she gets her cute little badge done. But that's what I want y'all to do. It's exactly like what Katie did, and it's exactly like what Anna did and what Barbara did, is you tell us what's something that is a smart swap superpower. So what's something that you use as a smart swap for a holiday recipe or for a holiday meal or something like that, that you would share with the rest of us so that we can use it too, so we can use your superpower too. Okay, so it's #SmartSwapSuperpower. That is your homework for this week. Do it. Okay, we've got an extra minute or two here to get something to drink and to segue into the second half. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if we ended just a smidge early tonight, because John is headed out of town again. So he's been to Minot, North Dakota, home for a week, Minot, North Dakota, home for a week, Pennsylvania with me, home for a handful of days, and now he's headed to Florida, for work. So wouldn't hurt my feelings if we ended a few minutes early tonight so that I can go home and see him before he leaves in the morning. Okay, so we're at the halfway point in the chat. If you are new with us, this is an hour-long chat, and if you're watching this later on YouTube, again, that's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. In the first half, we always go over whatever the Weight Watchers topic was from the prior week. And then in the second half, we do something fun. We don't always wear resting Grinch face sweaters, but this one's a favorite. And Dusty has figured out that we're talking about food. So he is back over here again. But everybody get your water. So this is the only time in the week that I know that you all had some water. I'm actually watered out today. I have hit my and I don't have a maximum for water, but I have hit, you know, like overload for water. So instead I switched to some hot tea, and this is a Twinings of London detox tea. So we're gonna try that. Oh, and I put it in I've got my cute reindeer little sweater that my daughter Casey made for me. And Debbie, no kidding, Debbie said at least the storms have moved out. That was wicked last night. I tried to remain calm in the camper, but when hail is hitting the top of the camper, it's no bueno, okay? Yeah, this little girl was scared because I do not do storms, but everybody else was sleeping okay. The girl slept fine somehow through it. Okay, so everybody get your water. Okay, and let's go ahead. Even though I'm not technically cooking, Dusty thinks we're cooking, I'm going to go ahead and put the apron on. So again, new people, since this is a 1-hour chat, I put an apron on for the second half, and that is so that Casey, who is my daughter, can figure out where the second half of the, oh no, Debbie, no, they were there tonight. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you all got them. I'm so sorry. So it would not have been a good week for us to be down there. Okay, we're just going to say that. But if you're watching this later, when the apron comes on, that means it is time for the second half. That way you can find it easily. Casey can find it easily when she is separating them for YouTube. And if you want to go back and watch the second half, you know where to find me. You know where to find it because that's when the apron comes on. So again, all of this is going to be on www.ifyouhaveanegg.com in the next 2 days, and on YouTube tomorrow. And again, that's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Okay, back to what we were talking about in the beginning, the Weight Watchers graphic, or the WW graphic on your weekly, and you're going to have to go back and find that on a mobile device because you cannot pull it up anymore on a computer. You can't go back and find past ones anymore on your computer. They keep changing that back and forth. But it really is worth screenshotting. And I don't know if that's an actual word or not, but it is actually, it's worth taking a screenshot of. So I'm going to follow their lead this week, and I'm going to share some of my favorite holiday smart swaps that are literally superpowers for me. They are a superpower for me to keep from going crazy during the holidays and allowing me to enjoy what I want during the holidays as well. So do go find that the Weight Watchers version of this. This is my version. So first thing, if my celebration, so the one on the Weight Watchers app says if a recipe calls for in one column, and then the next column says try this, and then the next column says approximate points saved. So mine, the first column is if your celebration calls for, the next one is try, and then the next one is points saved. So the first one is if it calls for sugar in a recipe. I have used several different kinds of sugar substitutes. So you can use, so if your recipe calls for sugar, and I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we tried Jody's lightened up version of her grandmother's kind of a cranberry salad. And so I used a low point sugar substitute for that one. Jody wanted me to try Swerve. So I did try Swerve. I liked it. And Swerve is, let me tell you what it's made out of. It is erythritol, allulose, and natural flavor, and xanthan gum. So it was delicious. It prepared exactly like I think sugar would have if I had used that in the recipe. Just know it is a 1-to-1 substitute. So if it's a teaspoon of sugar, you use a teaspoon of Swerve. Just know if your tummy is sensitive to erythritol, it has that in there. Or Truvia, and this is the brand I normally buy, and I usually get either the Truvia baking blend, or this one is the Truvia granulated, and it's plant-based. It's made with monk fruit, and the ingredients in this also erythritol, chicory root fiber, and monk fruit extract. Both of these are 0 points in smaller quantities. You can save as much. I don't think either one of these has an aftertaste, Loretta. I did not experience an aftertaste with either one of these. I just wanted to warn you about your tummy, like maltitol, erythritol, some of those sugar substitutes, some of those sugar alcohol substitutes will do a number, not on everybody, but some people have sensitive tummies. But anyway, so these, if you use one of these, a cup of sugar, so if you substituted a cup of sugar with one of those, you could save 59 points. 59. It's actually, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 59 points you could save in one cup if you substitute that. If your recipe calls for a cup of sugar and you use one of these, you could save 59 points over that whole recipe. What? 59? Okay, second thing, I do not have anything here to show you, but heavy cream. I haven't used heavy cream. I don't even know when. I always, instead, like if I'm making gravy or if I'm making something that has to be really, really thick and creamy like that, I substitute fat-free half and half. So here it comes, and I didn't get any today because I don't need it yet. It comes in a little skinny carton, and here in Knoxville, it's Land O'Lakes brand, and it's just called fat-free half and half. You can save up to 10 points in a quarter of a cup. So in a little quarter of a cup, you can save up to 10 points by just switching from heavy cream to fat-free half and half. I will say I have also used oat milk. Oat milk is extremely creamy, not almond milk, not soy milk, not not any of those other plant-based milks, but oat milk in particular does make for a really creamy sauce. But it's not that big of a difference, as much of a difference in the points. It's still a good difference, and it's actual food because it's made out of oats. Okay, the next thing is chocolate chips. So if your recipe calls for chocolate chips, you could use something like, and they don't have to be chocolate. I call all chips like this. So if it is shaped like this, Dusty, you can quit pacing, buddy. There's no food for you. So if it is shaped like that, I call it oh, and Debbie says cashew milk is thicker too. Good to know. So if it is a candy-like morsel that is shaped like this, I'm going to generically refer to that as chocolate chips, okay? So just know these are not chocolate chips, but I'm going to generically call them chocolate chips. So if your recipe calls for chocolate chips, you can use like Lily's brand. You can Swerve has some now. I saw those today when I was at the store, but I already had like $18 worth of Lily's chips in my buggy because I also got some peanut butter ones. I got milk chocolate chips. I already had these for Alyssa, and I got the peanut butter ones today. Oh, and salted caramel. Yeah. So I already had those, so I did not get any of the Swerve chips to try them. The Lily's do have, let me tell you what they have. They also have erythritol. So apparently that is the most yummy sugar substitute that there is. But they have erythritol. This one has cocoa butter, which is, milk. Let's see, dextra something or the other, chicory root fiber. So what is with chicory root? Does anybody know? Anybody have any idea what's up with chicory root? But again, with the erythritol. But you can save up to 4 points per ounce. So if you needed to use 1 ounce of chocolate chips in your recipe, you could save up to 4 points per ounce. So I don't know if you're keeping track, but we're already at 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. We're already at a 73 point savings. Now that's not per serving necessarily, but 73 points over a few recipes. Ooh, and Carol Lou has to watch the chicory root. She has to stay close to the bathroom. Yeah, I gotcha. I get you. Okay, if your celebration calls for fancy flavored coffees and teas and things like that, all of the holiday seasonal lighter liquid creamers like International Delights, the one that I don't normally flavor my coffee, but the International Delights Zero Sugar Willy Wonka Fudgy Caramel, that one's really good. It kind of tastes like a Girl Scout cookie, a Samoa Girl Scout cookie. Or you could go to Starbucks and you could use one of the Macro Barista. You could use one of his little things that he has on Instagram, and he also has it on the Weight Watchers app to tell you how to order at Starbucks. So if your event, if your celebration, if it's going to call for a fancy flavored coffee or a fancy flavored tea, you could totally do one of those creamers. I even found a couple of these. These are the lighter, the seasonal lighter liquid, and this is peppermint mocha. It's Grinch peppermint mocha, and these come in a little tiny container, so you can't go crazy unless you open a second one, you know, and put it in there. So those are always a great option, and those are also really good to flavor other things. Like, believe it or not, they taste good in oatmeal, in plain oatmeal. They taste good in yogurt, if you don't mind it being a little bit runnier, but those have a pretty decent flavor. Okay, the next thing is hot chocolate. So I can tell you, Alyssa and I have already had hot chocolate as part of our celebration. We will be watching parades. We'll be watching a lot of Christmas movies and doing puzzles. I've got a puzzle planned for tomorrow night. We will ride around. We will ride around here in Knoxville and look at Christmas lights. And when we do that, we will be drinking hot chocolate. I also just love hot chocolate sometimes at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you know, when it's cold outside, I do also just love sipping on some hot chocolate. That was actually part of Deanna's homework that she did, was just to remember if she's having if it's a chocolate crisis, to boom, open in case of emergency, that hot chocolate was one, like a lighter hot chocolate was one of the things that could kind of get her off that, you know, just remember, future me, that hot chocolate's one of the things that get you off that chocolate crazy. So for hot chocolate, I do like things like reduced calorie, reduced sugar, no sugar, fat-free, you know, whatever mixes. So these are mixes in a pouch. This is Swiss Miss reduced calorie. It's 1 point for the packet. And it's a packet like this, so you put it in boiling or really hot water, and you know, and try to mix it up. And those are 1 point. I also have some, I think it's 0 sugar K-cup hot chocolate. Those are also they're also 1 point. Or you can even heat up like a protein drink. Just don't get it too hot, or it could curdle. But you could just heat up. Okay, wait, hold on. Trish just says that. Trish, okay, perfect timing, Trish. That is perfect timing. It's as if you read my mind. So Trish says, I use a chocolate premier as hot chocolate, or the chocolate mint premier is also good warmed up. 30-second increments. Okay, this is what I was just talking about in a coffee mug. So don't heat it too high, or you could scald it, or curdle it. So Trish just gave you the perfect recipe for that, is to do a Premier Protein or something like this, like the Fairlife protein drink, you know, some kind of a protein drink, and put it in a coffee mug and heat it 30 seconds at a time so that you don't scald it. Barbara says hot cocoa mixed in your coffee is good. She's exactly right. That tastes like a mochaccino or something. And yep, Sarah says the Swiss Miss 1 point. Oh, hold on. Swiss Miss 1 point, great deal. Yep, exactly. And Chanel says you can always use Premier as a coffee creamer. Exactly. Yeah, so if you've got some of those holiday flavors, some of the Premier Protein, you know, limited edition holiday flavors, go back up to the one before that was fancy flavored coffees, and there you go. There you go. Okay, so let me think. Gwen, my fearless leader Gwen, I think she heats up skim milk and puts cocoa, like unsweetened cocoa powder, and then a little bit of, you know, something like one of these. I'm pretty sure that's how she makes her cocoa, but I know she's not here tonight. But if you all happen to run into her on the internet, ask her, but I'm pretty sure that that's how she makes it. Okay, so that's hot chocolate, and you can save up to 7 points per cup on just just from using instant hot chocolate to one of these ideas. You can save up to 7 points per cup. Okay. Next, pudding. We make a lot of like things that have chocolate pudding in them, or like actual banana pudding, or things that have like pudding in a fluff kind of a thing in it for fruit or whatever. So anything that has pudding, try swapping out a sugar-free, 0 sugar, you know, whatever you want to call it, kind of a pudding mix. So these are the Simply Delish brand, and I got chocolate today. So Simply Delish, in case you didn't know, is vegan. It's non-GMO. It's plant-based. It's vegan, so it's plant-based. But anyway, keto certified, lactose-free, nut-free, and gluten-free. So this one's chocolate. This one is butterscotch, which I thought sounded really good. And this one is strawberry. So I thought I might make Alyssa and I something with the strawberry one. But these puddings you can make with some non-fat plain Greek yogurt is perfect. A couple of tablespoons of any of these pudding mixes with non-fat plain Greek yogurt makes pudding. Plus you're getting the benefit of the non-fat plain Greek yogurt in there. You can mix them with a protein drink. So you can do 2 tablespoons. We did this in a chat a few weeks ago. 2 tablespoons of one of these. And put it in, like in one of these drinks or in half of one of these drinks, and that makes pudding. You just have to let it sit in the refrigerator for a little bit, or you can put it in some silken tofu, and again, perfect is a perfect consistency. But these are all sugar-free, and Jonna says she read somewhere that heating the protein drinks breaks down the protein. I don't know. Does anybody know if that's true? And it even has on here that on the package instructions, it says beat 1 packet into 2 cups of milk, which I think is funny because this is vegan. If you mix it with milk, it's no longer vegan. This is dairy free. If you mix it with milk, it's no longer dairy free. And it is, and there's something else on here that you just killed it if you mix it with actual milk. But anyway, so if you want to keep this with the milk free option, you can do, well, non-fat plain Greek yogurt is milk, or you could do that silken tofu. And again, excellent, anything like this, sugar-free, and that you can save up to 6 points for a half of a cup serving, up to 6 points just by using a sugar-free, and Jello brand is totally fine. So that's up to 6 points saving for a half of a cup. The next one is something to drink like sangria, wassail, something like that. I would do, and we did this last week while we were in Pennsylvania. I got a drink with light cranberry juice and some fruit, and I had some limes in it and everything. But instead of going full full sugar, full whatever sangria or wassail, you could do some either light apple juice or light cranberry juice, and then add some colorful fruit like whole cranberries or sliced oranges, or if it's the wassail or the cider, you could do, some slices of apples or some mint or some clove or, something like that, a cinnamon stick, something like that. And you can save up to 4 points per cup. And I promise you it's prettier too. So if you make, like I love to make a non-alcoholic sangria, that is it's the light cranberry juice, and it has whole cranberries floating in it, sliced oranges floating in it, the rabbit poop ice from Sonic in it, because I do it cold, I don't do it hot, just all those good colors, and people don't even realize that they don't even realize it's non-alcoholic when they're drinking it. But again, you can save up to 4 points per cup by just switching to something like that. Okay, so the last one that's on my list, I have at least 10 minutes worth of things to tell you about this last one. Does anybody want to guess what the last thing is that I have on my Smart Swap Superpowers list? Does anybody want to guess? I'll let like 2 people guess, because y'all are probably watching Christmas movies, or you switched over to the Grinch because of my sweater. So I'll let 2 people guess. Sarah says eggnog. Nope. Nope. The thing I'm going to talk about next goes in, so close, Debbie, so close. The thing I'm going to talk about next goes in, gosh, most of my recipes. And Katie, you are also so close. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to see if I can, Marianne, it will never let me pull up what you say. Vicky says Parmesan. No, that's an interesting guess, but nope. And I could fix that with some nutritional yeast. Okay, Debbie's super close. Okay, so making my own fat-free cream cheese. No, Sylvia. No. Bad, Sylvia. So bad. You're naughty. So anything, and nope, tofu is a great guess, but it is not tofu, Barbara. So making my own fat-free cream cheese is literally my strongest superpower during the holidays, and my civilian friends and family never know what hit them, okay? And honestly, they know I use it and they just don't care. So years ago, I had a friend of mine that used to work for me. She said she is like, oh my gosh, she can make anything. And she'd be like, oh, no, don't buy ricotta cheese. You can make your own ricotta cheese. And I'm like, there are people who make ricotta cheese. I don't need to make my own. Oh no, don't make your own cream cheese. You can make, don't buy cream cheese. You can make your own. I mean, like, I don't need to buy it. There are people who do it. But everything, like, she wanted me to brine I don't even remember what cut of meat it was, and make my own, what is it you eat on St. Patrick's Day? I've forgotten it now. Anyway, she always wanted me to make my own stuff, and I was like, I don't need to. There are people who make this. Okay, little did I know that I would be groveling, crawling back to her during COVID and being like, oh, corned beef. That's right, Debbie. She wanted me to make my own corned beef, and I was like, no, you can get it already corned. I didn't even know what that meant until she explained it to me. But I had to go crawling back to her and apologize during COVID because guess what I couldn't find? I couldn't find already made cream cheese. Couldn't find it. And I was like, hey, so I know I made fun of you for all these recipes, but could you please tell me how to make the cream cheese? Because I need some. Okay. So making my own fat-free cream cheese, literally a superpower during the holidays. It's literally, and John hates how much I say literally, but it is literally a superpower during the holidays. Okay, so here's how you do it. And here's why I do it. Okay, first of all, this is a block of original Philadelphia cream cheese. Okay, this was, I think, $2.69. I think this was $2.69. This entire container of Fayet Total 0% milk fat, and it is all natural, non-fat Greek strained yogurt. So this, I think, was $2.69. This entire container was on sale for $4.99. So you can see the difference in size, okay? And also, this cream cheese is I'll tell you how many points here, or how many points you can save here in just a second. But I wanted to tell you, or I'll tell you here in a second how many points you could save. But I also wanted to tell you what's in this, okay? So the ingredients in this cream cheese is pasteurized milk and cream. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's pasteurized milk and cream, salt, carob bean gum, and cheese culture, and it does contain milk. I don't think that was a secret. But anyway, so pasteurized milk and cream, salt, carob bean gum, and cheese culture. So this has 0 fiber. It has, the cream cheese has 0 fiber. It has, let me find it on here, 2 grams of protein per serving, no calcium, no iron, no potassium, okay? So it's just cream cheese. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just cream cheese. Okay, non-fat plain Greek yogurt is, the ingredients are grade A pasteurized skimmed milk, live active yogurt cultures, L. bulgaricus, S. thermophilus, I'm not saying these correctly, L. acidophilus, Bifidus L. casei. So do you all already hear some things that are not in here that are in the cream cheese? This is grade A pasteurized skim milk and live active yogurt cultures, period, okay? It does not have cream, it does not have salt, it does not have carob bean gum, and it doesn't have cheese culture. It has, yep, exactly, Debbie, these are prebiotics. So remember when we're talking about pooping and all these other things and good digestion and whatever, grade A pasteurized skimmed milk and live active cultures. So important that you get the live active cultures if you're going to eat the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So yes, those of you who said earlier that you thought non-fat plain Greek yogurt was my superpower, I do use it in a lot, but it is the turning it into the fat-free cream cheese. So literally all you do is take this, you just take the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and you can do this with a coffee filter, you can do it with a reusable coffee filter, you can do this with actual cheesecloth, you can do this with a paper coffee filter. Today I am using a, oh yeah, it might be probiotics, you're right, Debbie. So today I'm just using this really fine strainer with a handle. I'm using that. All I did was and I only put this on top of this so you all can see what's coming out. So to make cream cheese, you're just draining out some of the excess moisture from the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So I just took out several large scoops out of here, and I probably used, let's see how much of the container I used. I only used about 1/3 of the container. So this is so this was like on sale for $4.99, 2 something, and I'm gonna get at least 3 of these out of this. So let's see, so what is that gonna be? Not even $2 per. And you can make as little or as much as you want. So if you just need a little, make a little. If you need a lot, make a lot. But again, I put it in this so that you all could see how much liquid is coming off. So you just put it in whatever you're going to strain it in, and then put it in that, and then cover it. Most of the time I use like I've got one of those reusable fine mesh coffee filters. I usually use that. It's being used for something else right now. So I've got this going in here. Leave it overnight, and tomorrow it will be cream cheese. If you haven't seen our chat that is mostly about the fat-free cream cheese, you can go look it up on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. But that is my strongest superpower, and here I go. It's gonna be after 9 o'clock before I get done talking. Okay, once you get done making that, that is 0 points. This block is 41 points. So this 8-ounce block of regular cream cheese that has extra stuff in it is 41 points. This is 0 points. So after this turns into cream cheese, 0 points. So you could save up to 41 points per recipe if you used that whole thing in your recipe. Okay, what do I use it for? First thing I use it for, hot pepper jelly and cream cheese. If you've never had hot pepper jelly and cream cheese, I could literally eat this, and see, I do say literally a lot. I could eat this until I got sick. So you just take a jar of any kind of hot pepper jelly. This one happens to be from Southern Root Sisters. I've used it from Harry and David. My dad used to make this all the time. But you can just take some of your fat-free cream cheese that you just made, mix it with some hot pepper jelly, spread it on a cracker. You've never ever tasted anything like that. That recipe is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and just search hot pepper jelly and cream cheese, and it'll tell you exactly how to make it. Sometimes I get the kind that's red or green from the grocery store. It's fantastic. It is absolutely delicious. Second thing, cream cheese sausage balls. So I'm making these we're going to have a little celebration here at Casey Kitchen Center on Saturday for the girls that work here, and I'll be making cream cheese sausage balls. So delicious, so yummy. They are so creamy when you get done because they've got the fat-free cream cheese in there along with shredded Velveeta cheese. They melt in your mouth. So stinking good. And remember, I can save 41 points in the recipe just by using my own cream cheese. Cheesecake fruit dip. And the recipe for the cream cheese sausage balls is also already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And so Casey's going to post these links on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. But if you need any of these tonight, like if you think, I've got to have some hot pepper jelly and cream cheese tonight, if you've already somehow made your own cream cheese already, you could do that. But those are all on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The cream cheese sausage balls, you just look up cream cheese sausage balls. If you just look up cream cheese, you're going to get a lot of these. Plus, you're going to get the directions on how to make the fat-free cream cheese on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The next one is cheesecake fruit dip. This is excellent if you want to go ahead and cut up some fruit, do some grapes, pineapples, apples, anything like that, and put them on a skewer, and then make little bowls of cheesecake fruit dip. Oh my gosh, so yummy, so yummy. And it's just fruit. It's fruit, fat-free cream cheese made out of good for you non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and dip your fruit in it. Okay, that's also on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Loaded mashed potatoes. Love some loaded mashed potatoes. I always put the fat-free cream cheese in there. And then last but definitely not least, everybody's holiday favorite. I get asked to make this for every single holiday. Everybody loves it. It is eaten until the bowl is absolutely clear. Winstar Karen's buffalo chicken dip. So if you've ever had buffalo chicken dip, if you try this one, and my friend, I have like 4 Karens in my life. This one is Winstar Karen, and it is on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com under Winstar, WINDSTAR, or if you just look up buffalo chicken dip, you'll get it. But Winstar Karen's buffalo chicken dip, it is 1 point. It's 1 point per serving. 1 for buffalo chicken dip. You have to go check that out. So that's a 41-point savings. So those are my holiday and my super swap, or super swap, my superpowers for the swaps. I'd love to know what yours are. Do your homework, and we will all figure it out. We're all better when we're together, so we can come up with some great recipes. I'm sure y'all have some amazing ones, and I'm sure y'all have some great smart swaps that we can use for this holiday season. Remember, do not deny yourself anything during the holidays. But you all have an amazing week. I'm going to wrap it up and try to get home before John goes to bed, since he's leaving to go out of town again tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. But if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Let that next video go ahead and roll over. I promise you will enjoy it. Go ahead and click that bell so that you'll be notified. Go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when we have our next video. And to everyone else, have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. And let me know if you make any of these things with the cream cheese. Let me know. And if you have any questions about the cream cheese, go ahead and look on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, or just private message me, and will be happy to explain it to you. But good night, everybody. Bye, Anita. Good night, everybody. Y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Good night.